Hello, I'm Brigantia, Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Sunday. Let's take another look at the Celtic god Angus, particularly in his capacities as being a god of youth, a god of new life, and a god of resurrection. So, first and foremost, youth, because one of his titles is Angus the Young One or Angus the Young. And this is something that is emphasized over and over again in his mythology, the fact that he is in this state of being, of youth, of the first blush of life, and having all of the energy and vigor that is associated with that. Now, I think this is rather a nice thing that he is presented to us in this particular way, particularly for younger pagans. The young always need a little extra help in life owing to their lack of experience, and they're not necessarily looking for that help from the older generations because they are trying to assert their autonomy, their independence, and learning how to function on their own as adults. So, being able to reach out to a God who has the benefits of wisdom from his many years of existence, but who also is able to completely tap into that same state of being that young people are experiencing in the here and now, that makes him a better guide, someone who they are willing to be guided by, at least hopefully. That is always the hope. At the very least, it's probably a comfort that one of the gods has this strong association with youth because they can understand it. They can take a special look out for people who are young and who are experiencing all the usual tribulations associated with that. And this really gives pagan young people an advantage over young people who are raised in monotheistic religions, because, of course, in monotheism, especially if we're talking about the Judeo Christian realm, that God is always presented in a very authoritative way as being of very mature years, the silver in the hair, full of vigor, but still, well into his maturity. And essentially, they're given an image of their God that is completely diametrically opposed to their current state of being. So when I hear about, Christian young people, particularly, feeling like they can't really connect to their God. They don't feel understood by Him. They don't see how He could understand them or how they could understand Him. This seems very, very natural, and it's because they're not seeing that point of relatability. And that is a complete contrast with God Angus, who simply embodies their state of being. Now, his association with new life. He is associated with springtime, which is absolutely the season of new life. It is a time of freshness, a time of being lively and adventurous, and Angus possesses all of these qualities. And it's even said that his presence brings spring into the world, and this makes him one of the gods who actively turns the wheel, and that enables the seasons to make their yearly progression. So that really emphasizes his importance in the greater scheme of things. He isn't just this God who's in this kind of permanent state of youth, going here and going there and not really having any responsibilities. He's playing an active role and making the whole system continuing to function and work in its due season. Lastly, Angus and his associations with resurrection. He does have a limited ability to bring the dead back to life in myth and legend with his breath alone. Now, the caveat of this is that the effects were usually temporary. Now, sometimes people who've had a close brush with death, either owing to accident, injury, illness, once they come through it, they have a renewed sense of vigor and joy about life. Some even feel that they're on borrowed time, that, I should have died back there, but I'm here now, and now I need to appreciate every single moment that I have. Life is precious regardless of how much time we have left. And in myth, Angus was able to allow some people to have a little extra time. And what an incredible gift that is. You thought you were a goner, but there was this turn of events, and now you have a little bit more time. Mortality is inevitable, of course. We are beings of flesh, just as we are beings of spirit. The spirit's going to keep on going, but the flesh will run its course. And at the end of it, well, it's going to be the end of that particular form of flesh, but we don't have to rush towards that end. And I think that's one of the takeaways we can have from the God of Angus. He's not rushing anyone towards mortality. He is about that renewal, the resurgence of life, and taking full joy and pleasure in that. So, short but sweet, but that's what I've got on the God Angus today. I hope you found it interesting and informative. If you'd like to discuss it further, I hope you'll come visit us at Blackbird's Brew on Discord. There is a link to join in the description box below. In the meantime, I hope you will subscribe to this channel, like the video, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.